How long have you been playing Mabinogi for?
I've been playing Mabinogi since about 2010, 2012, or 2011-ish. I remember I got my start with it in when G9 came out. I remember that because I remember that login screen where it was the alchemist table where the cylinder is set up and all the like vials and such are bubbling, you know?
I wonder if everybody has, like, back from the time that they joined Mabby, if there's like a certain login screen that everybody would just remember because it's just, it's the first one.
Yeah, it's the first one you see, so it sticks with you. Yeah.
Right.
Um, the fun fact, I don't know if you know this, that login screen, that bench and table can actually be seen in the Tara alchemist shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems like they had like a scaled down version set in that shop, which I think is interesting.
That is really interesting. That's like a fun little,
Yeah, I
like
know.
a,
I was exploring around one day and I just found it. I'm like, what?
aw. No, that's so sweet though. I like that.
Yeah.
So I do actually, I feel like it would be best to go immediately into this. So you are also a content creator, and I would love it if you could give yourself a shout out. Like, where can we find you? What are your socials? And what
Yeah.
kind of content do you bring to the table?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm the Bard Guy, your friendly neighborhood campfire spirit. I primarily run Mabby challenge content as well as like sing songs, create stories, tell stories. I primarily do that on Twitch, but I am looking to expand into YouTube to
Ooh,
do either like shorts content. I also have potential long form content ideas that are a bit more down the pipeline, but the ideas are there.
right.
But yeah, I'm the TheBardGuy1 on Twitch as well as YouTube and Twitter as well, but I don't post on there.
That's fair. That's fair. A lot of people don't. Just being
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
honest. But yeah, if after this interview you could send me the links, I can put them in the description below so people can, go give you a follow or subscribe or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, go check them out. Are you excited for the Eternity update? And what are you excited about if you are?
I am excited for it. Just like it is nice to see this game that we all very much love put many years of our lives, at least in my case, into getting this facelift in a way. And I'm hoping that it brings with it a positive sense of change and growth to the game. I'm also looking forward to seeing kind of what they do with the story content, see how maybe that could be reimagined in the Unreal Engine. Just because
Oh,
I think there's a lot of room to expand upon those pre-rendered cutscenes, for instance.
right. That's what I was
And
thinking too.
yeah, I think it'd be great to see all of that like rendered in Unreal and just kind of have that, basically have our Final Fantasy VII moment where Final Fantasy VII got remade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I got you. I got you. That does actually bring me another question. Do you have a favorite generation?
Oh gosh, it is probably it's probably Generation One. I would say I joined in G9, but like that generation just really like sunk into me when I was a kid, and I'm like, it's this really fascinating tale, and like you don't see many stories delving into Celtic mythos,
Very
as well as
true.
just like showing this hero's journey that you kind of go alongside the RP missions with Tarlach, Rory, and Mari, and kind of following in their footsteps before inevitably overcoming the challenge that they failed to conquer.
I thought you were just gonna say it's just because it's the beginning of everything, but you went way more deep. But it's good. It's good.
Well, yeah. Well, admittedly, like Tarlac actually really stuck out to me as a kid because I wanted to be that mage, like that level of mage. like him in wars running around, no wand or nothing,
Right,
casting these
yeah.
powerful spells. Like my first character, I remember running around with no weapon, much to the detriment of my old guild leader. She was literally just like, just use a sword, just use a sword. Wands are so expensive, just use a sword. Like, no, because I was a stubborn middle schooler at the time.
Oh. Oh gosh. All right, so I actually have a couple of questions that the player who recommended you wanted me to ask.
Yeah.
So you do this survival man challenge. Why? Why do you do this?
I guess to just give a quick like rundown of it, just for people who may not know.
Yes, of course.
The survival mode challenge is basically I have to run through the entire game, gathering and collecting materials. If something can be crafted, it has to be crafted. Only things that I can buy from NPC, I can't buy anything from other players. No auction house.
Right.
And the only things I can buy from NPCs is stuff that it can't be collected in the wilds through some way. And honestly, like the why of it is I just wanted to see if it could be done.
Oh,
because
okay.
Mabinogi's crafting system to me is so integrated into the game that I'm like, how far can one take this? Like, to what extreme can one succeed in this game with just crafting your way through? And
this is still going on, right? Like, you're still doing this challenge.
Yes, there have been a couple breaks along the way, but a little over 2 years later, I'm still chugging along at it, and I'm getting close to the end. I still just have to complete the story content, as well as now unlock astrologer, because that was not a skill when I first started this. Yeah, I now have to craft a Celtic scythe, so because that's the lowest barrier for entry for astrologer crafting wise.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Another interesting thing with it is puppetry has been the hardest skill to get for it, because
really?
Celtic control bars is the lowest barrier for entry for puppetry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like there isn't like a basic craftable control bar. You can't just stick a couple of pieces of wood, a nail, and some web into the handicraft thing.
Huh.
No, yeah, I didn't think about it either until I started the challenge, and then I'm like, okay, time to look at what puppetry is, and I'm like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh. All right. I do have a second question from the player who recommended. They would also like to know if there is a point where the Survival Man challenge stops and you start doing Blanded.
Right now, originally the plan was as a G19, if I didn't have the levels to go into that, because there's like, I think, a level minimum to go into that content, that I would do some of Blanded to get the levels, because that was another aspect of the challenge, is I couldn't, I'm not able to do Blanded because that just gives you a bunch of gear, a bunch of levels and such, and I wanted to effectively do old school Mabinogi, I guess, in a way. But it's effectively like, if I reach a point where I can't do content because of just not having the levels, then I would do it. Or if I just hit a wall where I'm not able to advance because I just don't have like the right points in the right places. That's basically it.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Like, I still wouldn't use the equipment or anything, but it's
No, that's fair. All right, so last question that was by the recommended, or what have you noticed about Mabinogi's crafting system since doing the challenge for this long?
Honestly, one of the things is how much of newer content has kind of been left behind by the crafting system.
Ooh.
To kind of explain is like, to go back to the puppetry argument or comment from earlier.
Right.
Celtic control bar should really not be the easiest craftable control bar in the game.
No, it really shouldn't.
And the easiest craftable cylinder in the game is the roll cake cylinder, which you have to get by buying the blacksmithing manual from the auction house in Tara.
Oh.
Yeah. the next easiest craftable one is stuff that you get from the apostle missions.
Oh.
And it's like there's so much content that has just been left behind in a way by the crafting system that I feel like it really could use an update to allow people to basically be in my position of like, I don't want to necessarily rely on Blonded. Maybe I want to try and get crafting bonuses on these beginner gear just to start out. But I also realize like I'm very much in the minority of putting myself through this. But it's something that's been interesting to see.
Right. Oh man. Yeah, you're opening my eyes. That's all I have to say. Like even just I haven't even seen any of the challenge, but it like just hearing it from you, you know, and like all these things that you didn't think about that are now just
like
known. I guess they're now known.
Well, to give you a perspective, G9 requires you to make ice spear crystals. I had to get ice spear the old way, and I also had to make a cylinder in order to basically cast the ice spear crystals and so on.
Right.
So it took me a month and a half to get all of the pages for the ice spear.
Oh,
yeah, because you have to do all the exploration pages running around the area.
When you realize how good we have it now.
Yeah, and then I had to also wait a month outside of the auction house, like every day at around 5. I would log in, be looking at the screen, be like, okay, is it roll cake cylinder today? No, okay, time to wait another day.
Aww. Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I mean, it's been fun, just like kind of rediscovering the old ways in a way.
That is true.
But it's just been an interesting time, and it's just been interesting, and I've enjoyed every second of it. There have definitely been times where it's frustrated me, but there is a aspect of putting myself through this just to show that it can be done.
Yeah. All right, so what is your favorite type of Mabinogi content? So it could be like dungeons, fashion, crafting.
Yeah, despite the challenge, it's not actually crafting. I do enjoy it a fair bit, a lot more than I used to, just because now I have a bit more of appreciation for it.
Right.
Goodness. I mean, part of it's just exploration of the world. Is that an option?
Yeah, I would say, like adventuring. Adventuring Maddie.
Yeah, like I enjoy taking the time to look at the world that has been built around us and just seeing like the little details here and there.
Man. Okay,
back in the day, I would walk from meditate walk from Dumbarton to Tirchonale and just look around, just see what's there.
You're making me a little worried about when we get Eternity. Like, are we going to be keeping all these little things, or are they going to be lost? Makes me scared.
Hopefully. I mean, from what it sounds like, we are getting like one-to-one recreations,
hopefully,
there is definitely like small part of me of like, are they gonna keep the little things?
Right.
Like that one random training dummy that's at the top of Spiral Hill. Is that guy still gonna be there in Eternity?
I hope so. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, adventuring Mabby. I feel like that's a good choice in my opinion.
Thank you.
So what is your biggest and proudest achievement in the game? Or actually, if you wanted to give me your biggest and proudest achievement in real life as well, that would be also wonderful.
It
could be either or.
Yeah, in game. Let me think. It's probably honestly in game is probably the Celtic Control Wars. To give you an idea, that took me 5 months of constant grinding to get the materials for.
Okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't even 100% craftable like thing. I got like to 85%, and there was like 85% chance to succeed, and I got it on that.
See, I feel like that wouldn't be the average response, but in your case, it makes so much sense.
Well, yeah, just because of like I didn't need puppetry for the story or anything,
right?
And I don't mean to keep harping on it, but
no,
that was an achievement.
Yeah.
But also to kind of like. I guess put achievement in like real life, I guess like graduating college. That was probably like one of my biggest achievements. Even though that was years ago, but I still think fondly on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Actually, do you mind if I ask you some more personal stuff, like for real life stuff, I
Yeah.
guess?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So on that, actually, I would like to know what your favorite class back in school was.
Favorite class back in school was
Yeah.
probably my honestly my like biology class in
Ooh.
like high school and such. Yeah, I just had a really good like teacher for that class. He was super passionate about the subject, and he just had this way of speaking that really just enthralled all of us. It also helped that he had the cool classroom that had like these turtles that were hanging out the back, and he would
Oh.
sometimes pull them out. Yeah, he had like this alligator snapping turtle and this
Oh, that's
long
so cool.
long nose like turtle. Yeah, he would pull them out every now and again. Admittedly, like science is not what I got into. I got into English.
Right.
English is my degree. Um,
I mean, you know,
but
things
yeah, it's just
happen.
like no, yeah, like things happen. I did not go to school with like, or in high school, I didn't picture myself getting an English degree, but it just turned out that way in college.
Right. And that's totally fine. I'm sure you're doing so good. You still
Doing
you
my
still
best.
have you still have the path that you're on now.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you have a favorite movie, and why would it be your favorite movie?
This one recently came out.
Ooh, okay.
It used to be Wall-E, but
Aw.
the Wild Robot that came out this past year
Oh,
actually
I haven't seen it.
recently took the. It's such a good movie. It's really just this like heartfelt film. Basically, like I won't go into too much detail, but
Right, right.
basically like this robot kind of discovering what it means to live in a way
Yeah.
for itself and for others, and it's just this really like emotionally gripping tale, as well as just fantastically like beautiful movie.
Yeah, I think I heard
But
that
yeah,
or at least it was, I don't know if it won awards or it was just nominated or...
it was nominated for best animated film. It lost it to I forget what the film it was, but it lost it to another like beautiful film. So it's just
Aw.
like two giants in the
Right.
space. So fair enough.
Aw. Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime though.
Yeah, no, totally. I highly recommend it.
Okay, so I do have a last question for you before we end.
Okay.
What advice would you like to give people, whether it be in real advice, in game advice, or both?
Honestly, like this is somewhat in game, but also like this could really just be taken
Right,
in
like a
general.
general, yeah.
Yeah, just a general thing. It's just like take your time, enjoy what's around you, enjoy what's in front of you.
Just enjoy.
Because like yeah, just enjoy, but also like it's okay to take your time. Because it took me a while. It's taken me a while to do this challenge. It took me a while to get my degree, but I'm
Yeah.
getting there and I got there.
That's what I was gonna say
And
too,
it's
is that
something,
like your challenge is definitely time consuming, but you're still doing it.
yeah, yeah. And it's okay to take breaks along the way, but overall, it's okay to just take time and enjoy, like, just taking what's around you.
Yeah. No,
Because
that's great
especially,
advice.
yeah, just because in a game like this, just to back on a final point, especially now with how it's designed, we tend to bounce from place to place. Like
Yeah.
we go from Dunby to Emain and so on. But like rarely do we ever take the connecting roads in between, and there's so much that is just there to be seen and taken in.
Yeah. That's very true though. I know there's a couple players that purposely don't use like the mana tunnels and the moon gates because of like they want to feel like they're adventuring for
Yeah.
like I guess an accurate, realistic-ish period of time.
No, yeah. As realistic as a game like this can be, but
Right.
I totally get it, because there are times where I'm like, I'm just gonna take the long way around,
Right.
and just enjoy what I might find along the way, be it another person or just something I didn't notice before.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, Read the story. I know so many people who don't read the story now, and they're
Oh.
so lost by the time they get to the end. And I'm just like, you could have saved yourself so much pain.
Oh, I feel like you're saying that to my soul. I don't read. I mean, okay, I read web posts, but like, I
Right.
skip through the story. That's a me thing. Oh man. No, but clearly people enjoy it. So
Yeah, no, the game's been going on for this long, and people are so
yeah.
invested in the story. We have whole like content creators dedicated to piecing
Oh
together the
yeah.
story and what comes
Yup.
next.
100%. All right. So yeah, that was good advice, and I would like to say thank you for doing this with me. It was a lot of fun getting to know you. And
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I hope that other people will see this and also get to know you a little better as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I will see everybody another day in Erinn. Goodbye.
Take care, everybody.